Hello, everybody, and welcome to LOLR Season 23, Race 2, and we are at Hungary. Um, you all know I'm pretty new at commentating, but I still have the same routine as when I'm a driver. Have a brew, have a poo, and pretty much everybody is the same. I'm hoping my volume is a bit better this week. You'll have to let me know in the chat, and I'll try and adjust it where possible. But here, yes, we are at Hungary, that Hungara ring. Track length 4.3 kilometres, 14 corners, 2 DRS zones, in between corners 14 and 2. It's a bit of a tricky track, quite twisting, quite tight, called the Monaco without barriers. It's a very thin track, so overtaking is quite difficult. If anyone's going to try and overtake, it will be going up to turn 14, turn 1, and potentially turn 2. Other than that, it will be a bit tricky with the lap. So who's going to be first, and we'll follow them round. It is Katami, so we'll wait for them to go around, and then we'll do a lap tour. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're all settled in. I think it will be an exciting race. One or two new drivers this week, 1 or 2 absentees, but I think everyone's getting a bit to grips and back into the swing of it. And we'll get underway with Katami. Jump on board as he swings round. Open up that DRS. Going down the straight, full throttle. So gear 8, and as you hit the braking zone, the track does get a little bit bubbly. Want to turn in, hit the DRS. It's quite an early DRS zone added. Trying to do that as well as going on the throttle. Coming down to turn 2, downhill. Nice, smooth on the inside. A quick whip up turn 3, and then coming up the end of sector 1 to a blind turn 4, where a lot of cars may go off here. Katami keeps it on track. Swinging around right at turn 5, do not touch that inside curb. You will be going up to Narnia. Quick flick for chicane 6 to 7. You can go over them quite generously. Now this is where you want to start building up speed as you go around left and right. Turn 10, turn 11, and you can put full throttle. Goes a bit wide. Still keeps his time though, but I will have lost a lot of time. Going around turn 12. Down the hairpin, 13 is hairpin. Let's start and finish these laps, and then you want to go and get as much turning on turn 14 as you can to open up that corner, open up DRS, and set a lap on Katami cruise at 1:16. Great lap from him there. I'm indeed something a 15.5, but talking the chat, reckon it will be potentially a low 15s, maybe high 14s, but who knows? Time trials normally a little bit quicker on there, but I think when you do a Grand Prix section, it does normally go a little bit slower, but I think it's a bit faster on this track, which is a bit odd. So Adamako goes fastest with a 15.5, 4 hundredths, a bit quicker than I'm a D. It's going to be quite competitive near the top, which is a little you don't get that often, but it's a very mixed grid. And Oxox says we've lost Oxox. I'd missed that. He must have gone off and hit the wall. That's unfortunate. He's normally got good pace, but I think he's suffering a bit with a bit of tiredness this week. So we'll give him a little bit of grace. So let's welcome a couple of the new lads this week. Just to mention, with Dan Morris, who's just taken up a full-time spot this week. Unfortunately, Big Michael, he can't commit with us, so Dan's taken up the full-time seat to join Adamaka and Mercedes. So hopefully they'll get a good call of points. We've got the master of spinning off himself, Captain Chubbs, who's filling in today for Barca. Apparently going out with friends is a little bit more important. I'm sure everyone will want to knock Barca off anyway, so it's probably a good thing he's not here. But it's nice to see Chubbs back on the grid again. We've got, where is he? We've got Lennon in the Red Bull, who's filling in for Jesper. Lennon is, I think he is the current Constructors Champion with NSR Legend. So got a good bit of pace about him. Currently on a 16.2, but I'm sure there's a bit more pace in his car. I don't think he's raced for a while, so good to see him back with us again. We've also got he's just going on his outlap, Jax Daniels. Raced with him on Monday. He's got a good little bit of pace, and I think for me, I like a bit of competition, and we were both at the front of the grid, and unfortunately I span off on the second lap, and we could have had a good battle, but he's in the Alpha, filling in for Thelemy this week. We've also got Danny Dine, who's probably got a similar pace to myself, so I'll probably expect him probably in the middle of the grid this week, but nice clean racer, good lad for the chats I've had with him as well. And yes, unfortunately, we are missing NSR Legend, who's not with us this weekend, Row Hard as well. But yeah, whoever's in the chat, tell me what you reckon the fastest time will be. And who do you reckon from early days you reckon will be on pole? Adam is sitting pretty on top. I think AJ is on a slow lap here, unless he's made a mistake. But we've got Amity here, so quite high downforce track this one, with all the hard braking zones and the tight twisting corners. I think setups are going to be quite technical. It'll be interesting to see what people got in their laps. As Danny Dine, he's on his out lap. Gads is on a lap, so we'll follow him round here and see how he's getting on. Cheers, Lennon. I can waffle, but when you waffle, you've got to know what you're talking about as well. Otherwise, you just end up chatting shit, don't you? So, Gad is coming up to end of sector 1. And where is he coming round? He's just gone round turn 5. He's looking pretty slow here, so don't think he's on a fast lap. We'll follow Jax as he's just coming around in the lap and see what he pulls out. First time with us in LOLR. It's a mouthful sometimes, that is, but we'll see where he comes in. And goes up to P8 with a 1:17. Great first lap from him. Great. You always want to set a banker lap on qualifying. It kind of settles the nerves, and yeah, P8 is a good start from him. Catanese is 4/10 up, currently on his lap, coming round to turn 14. That should take him potentially up to P3, mate. If he can pull out some time, it might even take him up to he's on pole, a 15.4. Great lap from Catanese there. Fantastic. As the track heats up, those times will trickle down. So, who have we lost there? It looks like an Aston. Adam Mako's coming around here. He is a 10th up. Coming round onto turn 12. Don't know if that'd be enough to take him onto pole. Imadiv slotted into second place. It is going to be tight here. Portuguese B sets a new 15.3. So last week let's just see where Adam comes in when he goes over, and goes P2 with a 15.318. Oh, it is getting tight. Portuguese Beast last week, I wouldn't say he dominated. I think I would call it more controlled. It was a good battle with him and Imadi, but he stayed behind Imadi for pretty much every lap, and then the penultimate lap pulled the trigger, got out in front, had more ERS, and managed to take the pole. But he didn't have it all his own way, and I don't think he will do this week either. What have we got here? 4/10 between the top 5. I think there's a lot of time between everyone else now, as Wesker's just coming round the final corner. Will he jump up? And he stays P6. Or is he on a lap? We'll follow him around. We'll follow him around. He might be on a lap. Yeah, I always hate that DRS zone because it always comes to you before you've managed to set yourself up for the corner. No, he's done a lap. Let's follow Lennon round on a lap here. Qualification's key on this track. Like I said earlier, it's difficult to overtake, so you wanna get good track position. With turn one, with that tight hairpin, it's going to be congested, and it's quite tight time. It is one of the shortest tracks on the circuit. I think it's third shortest. But with the and that lens looks like he's pulled out here. I think he's either setting himself up for another run. But we'll flick on to someone else who we've got coming around here. It looks like is that Devil's coming around here? It looks like he's on a lap, so we'll follow him round. Yeah, considering it's a short lap, you're not on the throttle that much with that sector 2. About 44% throttle. Quickest you're going to go is about 200 kilometers an hour. But that is down this main straight here. And let's see where Devils comes in and goes up a place to P12. Good run from him with the 17.479. So Mercedes just coming round. It's not Adam. It is Dan Morris. Let's see what time he can pull out. Comes in at P8 with a 16.3. Fantastic lap from Dan. He's self-confessed. I think he's just got his set up about 10 minutes before we started. So it's good run for him. And like a few drivers, he hasn't been on the game that often. You know, life gets in the way, or you've been on it so long, and you just need that bit of a break. So good to have him back with us. Good lap set by him. We've got another Red Bull coming round. Is that Will? And I think it's Chubbs who's coming. It's not Chubbs. Where is it? Here we go. It's gone in pit. 5 minutes left. I'll try and check the comments, guys. I don't have a full setup, but 1 second. I'll just have a look in. One second, Jack. Sorry, mate. I'll invite you in. 1 second, guys. Just re-inviting her. And Lina Zekin's out. It's typical, isn't it? Typical. Go off the... who we've got going out? Let's watch Sygate going around. Had a good run last week, this guy. His first race with us was last week, and put a good show in. He's self-confessed not one of the quickest on the grid, but consistency is key, and when you've got everybody battling, the odd person making a mistake, if you keep it consistent, keep your penalties down, which again is going to be tricky on this track, you can find yourself in a good position. It's the mantra I go with personally, because I'm not the quickest on the grid, and I just try and keep my 4 wheels on the track. And especially if safety cars do come out, which is again there's a high chance there'll be 1 or 2 today. If you're still keeping close, and Sygate's gone in the pits, he must have either done a lap or not. So let's go. Guards is not, and he's a 10th over at the moment. We'll keep an eye on sector 2, see if we can pull that back. Again, did not have a setup. I like how these drivers get themselves prepared for this week. A lot of them have just, I'll just turn it on and I'll be ready. And we've lost Chubbs. Has he retired in the pits? I think he has. I think he's settled for what he's got. So 2.5 minutes left. I think we'll see a lot of drivers come out any time now to start setting their laps. And then the pits. Come on, let's find Danny Diamond. Is he setting a lap? He's a second and a half up. He's not going to pull that back in. If I was him, I'd do a quick jump in the pits and switch tyres and get back out again. Cameron, let's see what he's doing. Just coming up to the end of sector 1. Hasn't set a lap yet, so he needs to get one in. Just get that banker lap. Chubbs, but if you're starting at the back, and you can just hang a back bit at the back and let all the carnage unfold. And he lost it on the lost his back end on the curbs. The curbs are demonic on this track. And with this middle sector, if you don't hit it and tune your setup into it, it can be a nice smooth setup system. And I do. If you don't position yourself correctly for the first corner, then you're out of sync for the rest of it. So let's go. I think Big Racky, and he's off. Is he letting people pass? No, I think he's gone off. Save his ERS. Save your ERS and go round again. Turn your ERS off. Turn your ERS off if you're listening. Turn it off. Set yourself up for another lap. How you doing, Cam? Have you still got enough tyre wear to go again? Let's have a look if he's we'll follow. Right, Resker. He's all big mouth. Let's see if he can deliver. Well, I think his posse kind of bigs him up, and I don't know what he does. And we've lost Cam. I think he's settled for P17. Did lose it a bit, and I don't think he's got enough time to switch over. So, unlucky lads. The race is going to be a good one, so keep it on the track if you can, bud. Right, Wesker coming around in sector 2, turn 5. That's well away from that curb, but as you want to go wide, put your foot down as much as possible, and then you go straight into a hard braking zone. Smooth on those corners. Takes that curb a bit too much, but still keeps it on the track. It would have lost him a couple of tenths. Try and keep it as full throttle, but he did let off there, and he is just under a tenth up. Don't know if he'll jump that much. We'll follow him around there and see how he's getting on. And that's the end of qualifying, so anyone that's on a lap, this will be their final lap. Wesker's coming around turn 14 and stays P6. Good run from him. We've got I'm a D. We've got Cygate coming around now. He is up a little bit, but again, I don't think it's going to make him jump that much. Comes through over the line, and P13. We've got I'm a D next. Katamise has ended his lap 15.3. Will he jump? And goes up to P3 with a 15.4. Katamise had lost it off turn 10, unfortunately. And Adam Mako takes pole with a 15.2. Great lap from him. Dam goes into the pit, so he must have had a bit of a mistake. Who we've got coming next, I think. Is it AJ or Lennon? It's Lennon coming next. And will he jump up? And stays P7. Good show from him. AJ's going to have a little bit of an error there and goes P5. And Portuguese Beast takes pole last minute with a 15.0 out of RKO out of nowhere. Great lap from that final car going to the line. I thought Adamaka had it, but great show from the Beast. I just need to re-invite. Just go down through the order. So Portuguese is on pole with Adamako, P2, Amadi on P3. It's going to be quite tight with these three. The podium sitters last week: Katamise, AJ, and Wesker. Gadra Popotate, Lenin, and Dan Morris and Bigaraki make up the top 10. Linazukan on row 6 with Jax Daniels, Cygate Devils, Danny Dine, Captain Chubbs, and then Cameron Barber and Oxox, who had an unfortunate accident at the end, who couldn't set a time. Put who you reckon's going to be on the podium in your chat, guys. I'll just invite... I can't invite yet. It won't let me invite you yet, buddy. I'll have to wait until... If everyone's listening, don't press go yet while I just re-invite Jax. I'll try and... I don't know if I can invite... It went... Oh, there we go. Sorry, bud. It was peeing about. Right, it's coming now. Right, it's sent. Hopefully you get in again this time and not jump out. Right. Hello. Nice to see you again. And away we go. Portuguese has got a good set off with Armadi, who's taken P2, but Adam is on the inside with Katamise. Nice and clean. Fantastic driving, guys, fantastic. It's always a tricky corner, but you've all left each other space. Katamise has got up to P3. He's trying to go on the outside of Armadi. Adamaki's on the inside. And Katamise takes P2. Fantastic drive. Quite a tricky corner to take there. And do we want to see any lost wings here? No. Wesker's up to P5. Let's have a look at him. Some position changes here. Any big losers? Oxox has gained 8 places up to P10. Unfortunately, Jackson Devils have dropped a little bit, but still in the race. Yeah, everybody is good and going. Fantastic. Right. Going through the tyres, we've got a few different strategies here. So Armadi and AJ and Linazukin all on hards, probably expecting an early safety car. Trying to capitalise on a longer stint here. Majority drivers on mediums, which is should be a one-stop race, all being well, but you can... And great overtake by Adamaki on Armadi. That's the place to overtake. When DRS is activated, can be taken back here, but he's made the move stick. Great overtake here, and Katami's doing well. Normally he starts. He's got middle of the road, which is unheard of from. Great overtake there by Annie Dine on Devils. It's a bit risky one going up to that line turn 4, but yeah, a bit middle of the road. He either goes on softs and tries to go as long as he can on softs till there's no rubber left, and try and overtake as many as he can, or go on hards and do until like 2 laps before the end and then pit. So yeah, it's a bit of a reserved. And Oxox takes down on P9, coming round onto turn 13. Great overtake there. Portuguese is slightly pulling away. He's now almost 2 seconds ahead. This might be one of his tracks. Everyone has a favourite track or a track that they like. For me, Chubbs takes Linazukin there. Will Linazukin try and take that back? And coming down to turn 2, no, Chubbs has made it stick. Great overtake there. fingers crossed for him. Hopefully he keeps it on the track, and I don't want to jinx him. Hopefully he keeps it on track, because he does have a reasonable pace on him, and he started in the back and has got himself up to P13. The guys are all a bit of a train at the moment, and I think it will be like that. DRS should be activated, so but as I mentioned earlier, this tricky section 2 is quite tight. The overtakes are difficult to do unless you're going to do a lunge, which we do not promote. So it's all about timing it well, setting yourself up on turn 14 here. So Catamy's at the front of this train, setting up on turn 14, opening up the DRS, use a bit of ARS, and getting that overtake done. And if not, you've got a second chance after turn 1 into turn 2. So everyone is doing well. We've got AJ just coming up close behind Oxox. Is he close enough? And Devils takes Danny Dine again, and Danny Dine, this is, I mentioned earlier, if you can get a second chance if you've been overtaken to get it back on that second DRS zone, and great overtake from Danny Dine. How's Cameron doing? So keep within DRS, Cameron, and then you'll be with the train, bud. Now, weather means nothing. It looks reasonably overcast. Do we hope for a little bit of rain? Has anybody practiced in a little bit of rain? I think Hungary's not known for its rain. Oh, what we got here, and I think that's Cameron. He's had a bit of a spin. He's touched the curb. Hopefully you've got no damage, bud. Gadril Tartain has gone as well. Lost it after turn 12. Hopefully he's got no damage. We'll see if he jumps in the pits or not. But he's on the softs. Oh, and his tyres are a bit warm. He's unfortunately lit them up again. Get yourself going, bud. And Chubbs takes Big Racky. Big Racky stays ahead of him and Cygate. So nice three-way battle there. Chubbs, and he's got Jack Daniels behind, who tries to look on the outside of Chubbs. Chubbs has kept the inside and kept track position. Well done. Fantastic racing from you guys. Don't know if you noticed, Cygate's light is flashing there. He needs to reserve some of that ERS. I think he's tried to use it a bit too much too early on. Just let off a bit on the corners, and you'll be able to get that percentage back up again. Who have we got close? Everyone's still within a bit of a train. So yeah, Hungary's not known for rain, really. I think in real life, I think there's only been about 4 or 5 wet races in Hungary. So it's most of the time and a decent time in the summer. So rain's not known here, but who knows? You never know. We'll go karting. There is a bit of a change. Everyone's DRS is open. Who is vulnerable here? And it is Adamako who goes a bit deep, and Katamise does the undercut there, and the old switcheroo. Adamako had to squeeze a bit of DRS there to keep Amity behind him. Tried for a move and unfortunately just went a bit too hot. But try again next time. Portuguese Beast, nice and away here. Almost 5 seconds ahead. I think everyone else is a bit of a train, a bit of a battle here. So with them fighting, it just gives Portuguese that bit of advantage and being able to pull away. Let's see if he gets his back wheels on the curve a bit, shall we? Spice this up a bit. So Gadril Tartain and Cameron both pitted, switched on to the mediums. Don't worry, guys, it will come back to you. Everyone else has got to pit, and also, like I said, there may be a safety car. So if it was me, I might have gone on hards and see if I could eke them out to the end of the race. But everyone has their own strategy, so I wouldn't worry about it. Let's have a look who we've got then. Everyone keeping it pretty clean. no penalties yet. I'd always think going through that middle sector, you can go a bit wide, especially going on fast corner turn 11 and turn 4. You can that blind corner, you can get a bit hot in it and go wide. So I'm expecting to see 1 or 2 later, and that might take effect with these trains going on. So here we go, Ox here on his soft tyres, up behind Wesker. Can he make a move, take advantage of the softer compound while he's on them? You don't want to force it though. If you force it and you take it at the wrong time, then you're both going to be off the track, and your race is hampered. So bide your time. It's a little bit more stretched out. We've still got this train behind Katamise. Got a 7-car train between Katamise and AJ. I think AJ and Ahmadiyya will be quite happy on their hard tyres, keeping in check. Adamaka's a bit behind. He didn't get good enough traction to keep up with Katamise there, and I think Katamise has he's used quite a bit of ERS there, and I think it looks like most people are, to be honest. They're having to keep track position, so we might see a bit of action later on when people have used it. Jack's overtaking Chubbs there, but he goes a bit deep, and Chubbs takes the position back. Nice wise head there, and it's always, like I say, it's getting up to gear 8, 200 kilometers an hour, and it's a bumpy braking zone. So if you don't get it right, then you can be taken. So who've we got? Zukin on his hards, up behind Jax. Can he make a move here? He's staying with him, so I'd suspect this, on his hards, be a good lap to stick. And did Jax just go wide, and Zukin? Oh, giving just enough space. Those softs take with a little bit of advantage, but Zukin, I think, is close enough. He's going to, and Adamaka takes Katamise and finally makes the move stick. I'll keep an eye on these ones going. Adamako going round onto turn 2 and keeps his position, and I think we've lost Cameron again. Yeah, he's had a little bit of a spin again. Keep going, buds. Even if you finish, you get points, and it all goes towards constructors. So, one team, one dream. Adam has now jumped above Katamise, and he's now the lead of the train. The train conductor. Choo choo. For those who've been on towers, the mine train, it'll stick with you every time you go around. And there's the first penalty from Devils. 3-second time penalty for track warnings, and you've got to watch yourself going around some of these. You don't want to touch the curbs, but you also want to keep it on the track. And unfortunately, it's the first one to suffer. So yeah, Adams coming round to turn 14. Katamise, I think, is a bit too far away, and we've got the yellow flag. Can't see who it's for. Sector 3. It looks like, I think that might be Devils. Yeah, I think Devils had a bit of an off there. So Adam's still ahead. Katamise second. Ahmadi and his hard still in 4th. I think he'll have an eye on the podium with sticking with the medium compounds. They'll have to do the opposites on the second stint. Oxox keeping his... got to watch his tyre wear. I'd probably think if you want to do the one stop, you're going to look at pitting round lap 17 if you're on the mediums. It'd be good to get the softs eked out to there, so I'll probably expect him a little bit sooner, but we'll see how he goes. And Katamise is... we lost on sector 2 now. It's Cameron again. Just take it slow, buddy. take it slow when you're going off, because your tyres are going to be absolutely boiling. Just take it smooth and slow around a few corners. Your tyres will get back to temperature. Don't try and go full speed. Just keep it slow, bud. So Portuguese Beast, 6.8 seconds ahead now, just eking that gap. Every lap he goes, he's very much in control at the moment, but there's still a long way to go, another 24 laps, so anything can happen. And like I say, if safety car does pop, everyone is right up his rear end again. So then in P2 is Adamako, and Amadi has overtaken Katamis into P3. Katamis has probably had a bit of a out of position on track, and now he's under threat from Oxox, who's up to P5. How did he creep up to there? I'm not good at this, am I? I haven't managed to keep an eye on him. He's managed to snake his way up. Oh my god, great going from Oxox. Keep going, buddy. On his soft tyres, he's making full advantage and started from P18 at this stage of the lap, and I think that's Cameron, and he span out on turn 14 and is out DNF. I can't see a safety car yet. Unlucky, Cam. It's a tricky track, and once you go off, it's a murder to get back on. So, who's started still no safety car? It's just Cam's car. Okay, so yes, Oxox now up to P5. Wesker P6 going well. Leonard. Nice and steady, Lennon. I haven't really yet to mention his Red Bull teammate close behind. They'll probably want to keep together and work to keep in tow and do some overtakes later on. Lena Zukin. Jax is the first one to pit on end of lap 10. I think he might have probably gone for hard, really. And he does, so he's going to try and do the rest of the race on hard. It might be a bit too far, but he's given himself some good clean air now and get the full potential. You don't want to get too much life out of the tyres, but he can just go at his own pace now as fast as he wants without any hindrance, and try and pull some time back and get some undercut here. Pit lane, you probably lose about 21 seconds, so I think the only one that I probably need to consider that will be Portuguese Beast. Everyone else is quite close. Adam has broken DRS on Amadi, so Dan Morris is in the pits now, and he's switching off his mediums. Wasn't early, and I think he's probably going to go for the undercut as well, try and get some clean air. Jumping onto hards a little bit earlier than I would have gone, but does go onto those hards, so again probably wants a bit of clean air. Will he come in? Clean air is coming out, and it's Lena Zukin coming down the pit straight, who overtakes him, so he's got a bit of clean air now. Danny Dine and Devil's just behind, and yeah, he comes out in front of them. Devil's looking to potentially do an overtake. I think he's a bit too far behind, but keeping close might get him on the next lap. So Amadi pulling a bit back time on Adamako. Katami's still in tow with Oxox behind Wesker. Lennon and AJ all in that train. Then we've got almost 7 seconds with Big Raki on his own. He's a bit in a no man's land, but a nice comfortable P9. Good position with the field around him, and you never know, someone makes a mistake or a bit of battling happens earlier on. And Adam Makos is in the pits, first one of the front runners to go in, and he will jump on hard, won't he? And Wesker as well. They've probably been chatting and discussing strategies. Adamako going on the hards, and Wesker also jumping on hards. Jax Daniels with his first LOLR penalty. I'm sure if he joins us again, then it won't be his last, because if he's like me and likes to push the limits. Adamako on the fresher tyres, making the move over on Cygate. I don't think Cygate battled too hard. Knew it wasn't his battle. And Adamako up to P8. First of the front runners that pitted, so I'd probably think Portuguese had a bit of a gap, but Dan Morris taking Linazukin on the fresher tyres. So yeah, I think Portuguese might think about pitting, but he did have a bit of a gap, so he'd probably give it a couple of laps and then pit. Again, I know if it were me, I would, but I don't really race at the front, so I'm speaking hypothetically. Still all as we are. Wesker overtaking Chubbs. I think Chubbs has probably let his teammate pass again on fresher tyres and don't want to hinder his race. Great team play there by Chubbs, and he's going in the pits anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't want to fight that. Don't spin off here, Chubbs. You've done that before. I probably suspect he's going on hard. Wesker jumping side gate to P9. I'd probably say hard. I'd probably make him last until lap 19, lap 20. Let's go. All these soft runners still going. They've got to be thinking of pitting now because those tyres will be worn down. But Oxock's doing well. Look, he's still got 60% ERS, and the drivers around him are like, apart from Portuguese, because he doesn't have to use it. He's squirting. He's got kind of little squirts. And I'm not being rude, I swear. And he's in the pits, and he will jump on those hards. And Armady going through on his hards. I've got another 4 or 5 laps on them. Katami's following in the pits. Ox is following the pits. Good stint from him. All should be jumping on hards. Lennon's probably missed the boat there. I'd probably gone in at the same time as everyone else. He's going to get done on the undercut side. It's nice nifty track, Hungary, to be fair. It's kind of an understated one. I did read that it's a fan favourite for people who go into the track, because there's certain high vantage point positions where you can see probably about 80% of the track, and I've been to places like Spa, and wow, that's fucking massive, isn't it? And you can only see what you can see, apart from billows of orange smoke from the Max cult clan. But yeah, I think when they originally looking at building the track, they're gonna make it a street circuit in Budapest, and because of planning complications, they couldn't do it, and so they end up making a purpose-built track, and I think it's the quickest built track. Don't hold me to it. The quickest built track. It took like 8 months to build. Which, if you look at like newer ones like Qatar and stuff, then it is a good feat. Good feat. But, I forgot to anyone that's new to watching, by the way. It is Fun Facts with Alex. It's going to be new stints every week. Fun Facts, and Len just comes out just ahead of Dan. I think Dan will try and fight that. They're both on same tyres, pretty same wear. So yeah, we'll see how that battle unfolds. AJ and Amadee still to pit. So going through, we've got Net P1, Portuguese Beast without a Mako. Wesker up to Wesker is in P5, but may jump Armady and AJ. They will be on mediums, so we'll see how they do in their second stint. But if my maths do work out well, may come out ahead. And Chubbs gets his first penalty. Chubbs wouldn't be Chubbs without a penalty. Unlucky Chubbs. Let's have a look. So nice little train going down here. Ox X the fastest lap, 1:18.1. On the mediums, but I suspect that may be beaten as some other drivers pit for their tyre changes. Leonard Newton found again in the pits. Had a bit of a what's the word I'm thinking of? We had a bit of a unfortunate race last week. Had a couple of little knocks and spins, and it didn't work out the way he wanted to. But still finished the race, and like I say, if you finish the race, you still get points. So Gareth Partain on older tyres, you'll probably need to pit again. Takes P14. Lindsay Lucan does come out P17, but I doubt he'll stay there unless he goes flying off to Narnia. Amadi still out. And he's coming in the pit now. Timed that absolutely perfect. So he's going to be jumping on those mediums. Unless he's an absolute madman and will try softs, but I don't think he's going to try and compromise. Portuguese jumps onto P1. And Amadi does come out in P3 on the mediums, but Adamako takes P3. He's going to get jumped here by Katamise. It's going down to P7 and just ahead of Lennon. So hasn't really lost out, and hopefully it'll come back into him with a softer tyre compound. Big Raki and Sargate having a good tussle there. Great overtake by Big Raki, and will make it count and stick on this second DRS zone. And Chubbs a little bit wide. I don't know if there was contact or not going round turn 1, but Jax Daniels jumps up to P12. I think Chubbs will stay with him on the softer compound. Devils with a great overtake there. Will Danny Dine try and take it back again? Devils does have the DRS, but Danny Dine does have the DRS, and Devils with a bit of wobble there, and great awareness by Danny Dine there just to stay behind and not try and force an overtake on a little bit of mistake. And yeah, great driving, guys. Devils makes that move stick there, and I think Danny will try and take it back on the next. Ox takes Katamise to go up to P4. He's going to have one eye, I reckon, on that podium. He's kept quiet all week. Had a bit of a troubled race last week. One or two little incidents. They were incidents that were driver and Ox. You didn't want that. Gets that penalty, and he's going to have to give himself a bit of a buffer now between him and Katamise. He is on the softer tyres, so and does have a bit of DRS, but he's going to have to keep it clean now and concentrate and try and get a bit of gap between them. Otherwise, that penalty is going to cost him. But AJ still out on his 19 lap tyres, and is he going to pit? He comes in now. It's like I've been looking at these strategy calls. Golden Mystic Meg. Shut up, Meg. Wesker will probably will he go behind Lennon? I'm sure Lennon won't want to hamper his race too much if he gets close to him, with him being a reserve driver. Dan overtakes as well. Will he come ahead of Big Raki? And Big Raki, considering he's in no man's land earlier, he's back in with the other drivers, so good racing from him. Just behind AJ. AJ on the fresher tyres, and Sargate has jumped onto softs. 14 laps, should be able to stretch that out. It's going to be a bit tough at the end, but hopefully he'll be able to claw some of that 13-second gap. And Jackson Chubbs battling again. Great driving as, and Chubbs up to P11. On the softer, newer tyres, so he should be able to make that stick. And yeah, stays ahead. Jackson want to try and get that back on the next lap. But Amadi close up behind Katames on softer compound. Bit more ERS. He'll have DRS and gets good traction out the corner. Pumps that trigger and takes a move on Katames. Great overtake. Set that up well. Coming round turn one, keeping it clean, keeping that traction, open your DRS again, and you should keep that position. That's great. Overtake from Amadi, who takes P4. Portuguese beast there, keeping it clean and tidy. At the moment he is looking unbeatable, but like I say, one mistake, one safety car, and everyone is back in the game. Adamaku in P2, 12.5 seconds behind. Reasonable, comfortable. He's got Ox a second and a half behind. Does have that penalty. Will be chasing him with those softer tyres, and Amadi closely up behind. So all four of them up for, well, I say all four. Probably got the podium, but we've got a good other four drivers here between Adamaku and Katames in contention for that podium. Wesker 2.3 seconds behind. Probably just biding his time. He's still got quite a good bit of ERS. So, and Amadi with fastest lap with a 17.7. Currently, then with that claim of the extra point for fastest lap. Got Lennon closely behind. AJ and Dan Morris down the straight. Oh, a little bit of a tap, but sometimes happens when you get near the end of that straight where you want to keep position. AJ just makes it stick, and on fresher, softer tyres again, should be able to pull away. But great racing. We've got Big Rack who's dropped a little bit. As you can, Jax has gone in the pits and jumped onto mediums, I think, and got off a tartane. Did Jax? I think he pitted earlier, so probably needed some fresher tyres, but I probably would have jumped on softs if you had them, buddy. I don't know. I can't see. So, Gadwapper Tartane's just coming out now at the back on hards. Are you mad? Are you mad, man? On hards? Did you not have any other tyres? God help you. And Amadi takes P3 on Ox down the pit straight and to P1 and is closely behind Adamaku. We do have a three-way fight here for P2. So we'll keep an eye on who's going round. Hopefully no one loses their way. Great racing, and like I say, credit to Ox's current position P4 of starting at the back of the grid to show good pace, good strategy, and keeping it clean and consistent. You get yourself into all good positions. Have a look around and see who's going down the street. Going down. Who was that with a flashing ERS? I think it's Side Gates. Used quite a bit there. No, it was Devils. And who we lost in Sector 1? And we've lost Jack Daniels. He's had a bit of a spin. I don't know if there was contact or we've just lost it on traction. Just having a little wiggle there just to try and get some tyre temperatures correct. And Amadi jumps into P2 ahead of Adamaku. Good little battle between these, and Amadi on the softer compound, but that will even out in another 8 or so laps. So if Adam can stay within DRS time, then He'll be in contention for that P2, but at the moment the current standings is the podium from last week of Portuguese Beast in P1 with Amadi and then Adamaku, but Ox is close behind. Katami's going nice and steady, but just sort of gradually falling back. He's 4.7 seconds, with Lennon 3 seconds behind him. Closely followed by Wesker and AJ. I think he'll want to try and hold up Wesker as much as he can to help AJ get past. Little bit of team play there. Chubbs gets another penalty. Chubbs being Chubbs. I might make it a catchphrase if Chubbs joins us often. Chubbs being Chubbs. Sounds good. AJ, probably great at work by Lennon there, and AJ is right up behind Wesker now. He's got better traction. He's pushing him round that corner, and he's gonna make this stick. He's got loads more ERS, and makes that comfortable move. Will Wesker try and fight it? No, I think he knows that it's not a battle to fight now. And we've lost. Captain Chubbs has had a bit of a spin on turn 12. He's probably caught that corner on the inside. If you take it too tight, lose that traction and your back wheel's going. I think he might have a little bit of damage. Hopefully he's not going to be waving goodbye to us. Hopefully he's going to make a quick tire change and check if he's got any damage or not. Chubbs being Chubbs. No, he's having a nice little thing. Come on. I want to see if he's that. No. And he's coming out. What is it? What's these camera angles? Who's on these cameras? Is this Sky? Chubbs coming out on softs then, so has a chance to potentially get a fastest lap then, and has a bit of bragging rights in that sense. Comes out of Gadruppel Tartain, who does overtake Danny Dine. Does have newer tyres, but they'll even. I'll say even out. Good fighting tyres. How they currently are. Imadine's now pulled 2.8 seconds ahead of Adamako, and AJ has got past Lennon. I don't think Lennon's fought that too much, and Dan Morris has gone into the pits. Has he had a bit of contact, or is it a bit of change of strategy? He's just switching tyres. He only did 13 laps, he could have gone to the end. I think he's just probably trying to give himself some clean air and maybe trying to set a fastest lap. We'll be interested to have a chat with him after about that call, but it comes out in P10. P10's nothing to cry about. And considering you've done no practice and had a setup 10 minutes before. We've got Wesker still up behind Lennon. Lennon has been dropped by AJ a bit, so I think Lennon's probably want to hold up Wesker, try and consolidate that P7 possession. Who we lost on the last corner? It's Danny Dine. Has lost a bit of traction on trying to put his foot down on 14, and you can do that, being a bit trigger happy or pedal happy. I'm on pad, so he's last place, but like I say, keep going. You get yourself a point for the team. Big Racky's coming in for the pit. Interesting again. I didn't slow down fast enough. 5-second penalty, such a killer. But yeah, why are you pitting? Could have gone to the end on your hards, unless there's something I'm not aware of where the wear is so bad. But it's going on softs, and again, P10 is nothing to cry about, and has a chance for a fastest lap, but it comes out just ahead of Cygate, both on softs, so might have a little battle, but I think Raki might pull ahead, but you want to pull ahead to keep ahead on those penalties, and we'll just have a quick look at penalties. We've got Oxox has got 3, Linazukin and Jax and Gadruppel Tartain on 3, Devils and Captain with a double penalty up to 6, and then Big Raki with a really killer of a 5-second. I hate it when that happens. You just always kick yourself. But West is still up behind Lennon here, and AJ is caught up to Katamies, making use of that softer compound which is coming in play. And if we lost it, is it Chubbs? I think we've lost Chubbs, and I think he's caught it on the corner coming out of Pete turn 4. That blind corner, and Danny Dyer's retired. I don't know where he's retired. Has he retired in the pit? I think he's retired in the pits. He's probably had a bit too much. Yeah, I think he's gone a bit wide and called that corner, that curb on turn 4, and such a killer. And yeah, unfortunate for Jax. He's a great lad jumping into reserve for us tonight. Just wasn't his race. A bit too much on traction. Portuguese Beast has lapped, but we do have that ghosting function, so it's not really a problem. He's probably take advantage of the DRS. Got Amadi in second, 10 seconds behind. He's actually catching up to him. 5 laps. It's going to be a bit of an ass to do. It's like 2 laps a second. And AJ and Katamies battling. Katamies has kept position, but AJ is now on the coming down the start-finish straight. Katamies is burning that ERS, and AJ takes it inside. Katamies on the outside. Will he have enough traction to keep that inside? I know he slots in behind, and knows he can fight another day. He just has to keep in close proximity and try and take him on the next lap. But AJ on those softer tyres in that middle sector where it's fastest lap to Big Racky in a 1:17.3. Making that call, jumping on the softs, and like I say, has those bragging rights of that PowerPoint. I've been watching the Gladiators, sorry guys. No, I'm a lot more cooler than that. I play Mortal Kombat. Finish him. PowerPoint. Got Lennon Wesker. It's been a good battle, and I think Lennon will want to try and get past Wesker. He might be buying his time and do a little last lap run and just rub it in. And now he jumps in the pits. Quite comfortable. He's got enough time in between him and Dan to make a pit, so he's not really losing out. If he wasn't battling Wesker, he's going to jump on those soft tyres and he'll go for the fastest lap. And I've got a few drivers going for that fastest lap strategy, knowing that it isn't a difficult to overtake track. So Lennon, let's keep an eye and see if that fastest lap signal pops up. We've got Katamies, our 15-lap-old hard tyres, just behind AJ. AJ has leapfrogged him, but Katamies staying with him. Will he try and take him on the start-finish straight? I do love this sector. It's a very technical sector, but if you hook up those corners, it's such a sweeping right, left. It's the same like people like Maggots and Beckett's and stuff like. It's that left, right, where you can just try and go as fast as you can. You've got a bit of G-force flying, your head flying left and right. I'll keep an eye on this, see if Katamies can get traction. Doesn't have the ERS to back himself up though, so I think AJ will pull away and probably predict that Katamies is using a bit of ERS. So we'll squirt. No, not used it. He's feeling quite comfortable. And Oxoxener takes Adam Mako and keeps it stuck, go around turn 2. Great overtake from him. He does have that penalty mind, so if I think Adam Mako, with 3 laps left, potentially won't fight it. He'll just want to stick with him, keeping that DRS zone. And then he'll consolidate that P3. Yeah, unfortunate for Oxox, that penalty. And like I say earlier on, penalties is key when you're fighting for position. I missed it earlier on. Just want to say thanks to Chubbs. He has retired in the pits. Had a few more spins than Carly Minogue, but Chubbs being Chubbs. he put on a show for us. So yeah, thanks for jumping in, and hopefully if we get any spaces next week, he'll jump in again with us, mate. Yeah, that last spin, Chubbs, you just heated up your tyres too much, and you probably got a bit of damage, so. Oh, a couple of laps left. Adamako, like I say, he's keeping up with Ox. He's not going to want to fight it, and Lennon gets his 3-second penalty. He hasn't set that fastest lap yet. Oh, we've had a bit of a tussle here. I think both look like they'd gone off a bit, so might had a bit of coming together. We'll have a chat with the guys afterwards and have a look what's happened there. But unfortunately, there for Big Racky, I think potentially they're going for an overtake on turn 1 and probably had a bit of a collision. So yeah, we'll have a bit of a review of that. Hopefully it's not. It's a racing incident and nothing too. Hopefully it's an innocent one. So, but yeah, we'll keep you posted on that next week. Linazu can get into the pits. He's coming out on newer softs again, so I think he's going to try for that fastest lap. He's turning to get it. He's probably thinking, I've got nothing to lose. Might as well go for it. Yeah, let's keep an eye on him. Adamaki's still behind, so penultimate lap for Portuguese. He's 10 seconds ahead. Kept it quite consistent with Armadi. Hasn't really had to push it. It's very comfortable, and I say he's very much from lap 1 had this in control. There's a bit of battling behind him in the first couple of laps, and let's give him the chance to get out of that DRS zone, come into lap 3, and all he's had to do is just drive round. So great driving, great professional driving from him, and definitely well deserved. He's coming on to the last lap now. Armadi, he's got a good 8.5 seconds ahead of Ox, so he's pretty much got P2. And who have we left in sector 1? I think it was, I don't know who it was, it might have been the Ferrari. And Ox with Adamaka still behind. Gadropatate gets another penalty, and Saget gets a 10-second penalty, and I think he's gone off the track and cut the corner. And yeah, if you even if you're gone off the track and you don't return to the track straight away, if you try and get on a bit later on, the game will penalise you and give you a big massive penalty like it just did. So it's a bit unfortunate, and probably will dropping down a couple of places, but that's a bit fortunate. No one's really close, unfortunately, until on this last lap, apart from Adamaka. And like I say, he's not really going to push it because he's got that P3 with the Oxford penalty. So we'll follow Portuguese Beast come around the last corner and takes his 2nd win of the season. Fantastic drive, nice and comfortable. And we've got Armadi who used a great strategy and comes home with P2. We've got Ox and who's that going wide berth? We've got Ox and Adamako close behind, and Adamako will take P3, but nothing against Ox who's done a fantastic race to come from last on the grid to P4. But I think AJ might jump him. No, AJ gets P5, Katini 6. Wesker coming home in a comfortable P7 on his hards. Lennon, nice of him to come in reserve for us, coming home in P8. Dan Morris, a little bit of a tussle. Like I say, we don't know what's happened there, but I think he would have been P9 anyway. So coming home there, and then Big Racky rounding off the top 10. Another great performance on him. And there we go, guys. That is race 2 at the Hungaroring. Quite a bit of action. It's, like I say, it's a difficult one to get some overtakes done. You've got to choose your moments. So everyone used their heads. No major catastrophes. And even if the race wasn't too exciting for you, then what's it called? I got this like Hungarian spirit. I wonder if they're like going to shake it. It's called like Camel Com or something like that. I'll let you know next time. I'll have a look, but it's such a weird name. Like, yeah, it's like Camel Com. It tastes like Benedictine. It's mad, but they're not shaking that. They're shaking that champers, and it's a congratulations to your podium sitters there. Let's bring up the grid here. So we've got Portuguese Beast with his second win of the season. Armadi taking home P2 and Adamako P3, a carbon copy of the first race's podium, and Oxox with a P4. Great race from him coming from back of the grid. AJ coming in at P5 in the Red Bull. Katami's got some great battling, but he just couldn't hold out and stay ahead in P6. Had that train behind him, but great finish from him. Wesker P7. Lennon P8, Dan Morris, and then Big Racky filling up the top 10. And Gadrop was Artane, and it's a lead of the penalty ones here. So Gadrop in 11, followed by Lenzukin, Devils, and Cygate. Who knows where his car was going? And at that end, it was mad. And then we've got Jax, Chubbs, Danny Dine, and Cameron, who all finished at the rear end. So yes, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Lights Out League Racing. Join us next week, same time, 8:30. We are at race 3 at Baku. Yes, 100% sure it's Baku. You may hear my lovely tones, or it may be our head overlord admin, Daft Chip, who'll be spitting his gums and regaling with his layers of wisdom. Have a good week, everybody. Great driving. See you next week.